My name is Mac Mahon. My firm is Expert Dojo. We're one of the most prolific investors in Africa. We probably do more investments in Africa than anybody, I would say, in the United States. We've done about 50 investments in India. We'll probably make another 200 investments into India within the next couple of years. Our investments range from $50,000 to $1 million. We just put a $2 million investment into another firm. So there's plenty I don't know about life, but venture capitalism is not one of those things. I have spent a long time honing this craft. And because of that, I do no longer believe that venture capitalism is a Ponzi scheme. I think it's a pyramid scheme. Does anybody know the difference between a pyramid scheme and a Ponzi scheme? Yeah, you see, you're gonna take video. You should do that, actually. That's always fun afterwards. No, I'm kidding. You should do it. I'm not stopping you. There's so much bad stuff about me already. Okay, so the difference, I'm kidding. The difference between a pyramid scheme and a Ponzi scheme is what? Correct. Correct. That is the exact significant difference between a pyramid scheme and a Ponzi scheme. It is the quantity of people that actually benefit and know it's happening. If it's Ponzi, it's generally one person, maybe two, if the wife or husband knows. Pyramid, all of the people on the top line, they know they're going to be making money. Actually, they have to know for it to be functional. And so why do I say it's a pyramid scheme? Well, there's no fluke that women only get 2 or 3% of the funding. There's no fluke that it hasn't changed in 20 years. There's no fluke that it's not going to change in the next 10 years. It's no fluke that like every single time there's a tiny bit of pressure on, then one of the top venture capital firms hire one woman so that they can show that they really care about women, right? It's no fluke that so few minorities actually get to raise money. This is a little white boy's game who goes to nice schools, whose mommy and daddy generally work for one of the top venture capital firms. Like, we got to just talk about what this is so we can recognize the huge problem that we're facing in the United States right now. And the thing that kind of makes me sad about this whole environment is I see people like Meredith who are building like amazing, amazing technology that requires her to be taken incredibly seriously because it is science that can deal with one of the biggest problems that's facing the world today, mental health. Do we really need another social media platform? Do I really need like OpenAI to give me another productivity tool that will increase my emails from 200 emails a day to 300 emails a day? I don't fucking need any of that stuff. But do I require fewer homeless people in the street? Do I require less addiction? Do I require a better planet? That would be nice. But the problem is none of these things fit into a good pyramid scheme. And so I took the decision about 10 years ago. I did a TEDx talk and it spoke about a thing called the kidnapping of the American dream. I believe that as an Irish immigrant, I believe America is the inventor of entrepreneurship. All of the rest of our countries, we had some people doing entrepreneurs and much more people taking jobs. But America begun through entrepreneurship, built through entrepreneurship, and became the greatest place in the world. And now it is the destruction of Rome because of what we're allowing to happen inside entrepreneurship, which is a small few group of people to be able to take control and manipulate an entire country and all of the entrepreneurs around. So, if we're agreed, maybe not on the extremity of what I'm talking about, but if we're agreed that maybe there is a huge fucking problem here that needs to be dealt with, then we say, well, how do we come up with a solution that overcomes bias on such a magnificent level that it's at right now, that is almost unovercomable? And so I did a TEDx talk to talk about it, and people said to me, well, why talk about this? Why don't you do something? So I set up a fund, and we started investing. And when I set up the fund, what I found that after doing the TEDx talk, very specific investors became my friends, and lots of other investors did not. I formed an incredible friendship with the Thai community. So people who are Indian entrepreneurs who I have like the utmost of respect for, because they understood this a long time ago, but they still became the greatest entrepreneurs that we have throughout the country today. And so I started to form relationships with investors that I wanted to build relationships with. And I came up with a thesis. And I want to share some useful content that you can take away within this really short period of time we have. The thesis is, the only thing that will ever overcome bias, real, dirty, filthy, whether it's racist bias, gender bias, or any other bias, is aligned greed. Aligned greed is a beautiful thing. Because you know what it means? Everybody gets to win. But it has to be aligned. And that means you have to bring people to do it. So, if we're going to take a founder, and let's say that she is a minority founder, and let us say that you've got your 5 usual suspect venture capitalists up in Silicon Valley who are judging this lady, and they have already decided that she is not going to get investment under any circumstances. The only way that aligned greed becomes real is if she can show growth that is in line with unicorn trajectory. Because then nobody wants to be biased anymore because it costs them money. Bias is only good when they know that they're going to win by backing some dumbass founder creating, what was that stupid audio thing that happened during COVID? They got $100 million. Yeah, there you go. Clubhouse, right? They'll give the money to Clubhouse. So to stop the money going there and give it to a founder who really deserves it, she has to show growth. So at Expert Dojo, we started out as an accelerator, and then we worked out that accelerators don't work, and that's still my conclusion, that there's absolutely no basis foundation that accelerators actually help startups grow. So we looked at the folks who are good at it, like Deloitte, KPMG, the large consulting firms, and we said, what do? They audit people in very specific areas and then work on areas of weakness to build them through. So we came up with 5 areas that we believe are significant in building aligned greed. Number 1, outreach. Dirty, cold outreach. If you are a founder, how many cold calls do you make every single day? If the answer is 0, you don't deserve to be a founder, period. And I don't mean for your investors. You don't deserve to be a founder for your family. Right? Because the journey that you're taking is one that is extremely selfish. And if you're going to do it, you got to be prepared to do the work. What else have we got? We got emails. We have LinkedIn outreach. We've got affiliates. We've got partnerships. We've got Google AdWords. We've got social media. We've got Epic Productions. We got all outreach, outreach, outreach. What is your score on outreach? The second one is emotional resonance. Emotional resonance is the most important thing that exists, period, inside organizations. And because of this ridiculous focus on this awful concept called lean startup, there is no ability to resonate because we're too busy building shitty minimum viable products that should not even exist. Number 3, building your domain awareness to domain authority to domain domination. Your job as a founder is to get to domain domination as quickly as possible. And I can focus on that a little bit as well. Number 4, lovable product. Never, ever, please, just if it's a favor to me, if you've got some entertainment from me, never use the term minimum viable product again. It is a disgusting developer's term for a lazy product that does not respect the customer. Lovable product is simple, it is complete, and it is transformative. And if it is not transformative, then get a damn job because you're not doing anything of value in the world. The final area is investment, okay? And it is the 5th area. It is not the first area. If you are a founder and you are spending 60% of your time looking for investment, you are a schmuck. You are playing a game that is a game for investors where they're just placating you. You're never going to raise a Series A. But it is important because the time will come that that investment has to keep up with the incredible work that you're doing outside. So, we are growth hackers, really. We thought we're investors. We invest, yes, but we're growth hackers. That's what we do. So what area would you like me to focus on? I probably have, how long do I have? He's very busy. How long do I have left? 5 minutes, good. Okay, lovely. So in 5 minutes, I want to share with you something that's useful. So what do you want to know about? You want to know about great growth hacks for outbound. You want to know about emotional resonance, which is my favorite. You want to know about domain dominance and building domain dominance. You want to know about building lovable product, or you want to know about investment. What do you want to know about? There's no script here. Building lovable product. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to tell you a glorious thing. I've literally just come up with this thesis in the last week, and it was a mistake that I made initially. I have one of our growth hackers. We have hundreds of growth hackers, by the way. They all come in for different things. One of our growth hackers is a guy called John McDonald, and John McDonald focuses on an area called Horizon 3. And what he believes is that every single founder has a Horizon 3 product in them. That is an absolutely transformative product that leaves the world, not transforms the customer, but it leaves the world in a place that was unimaginable at the beginning. And to get to this massively transformative product, this Horizon 3 product, you have to work it out at the beginning. And I always believed at the start, you have to know what that Horizon 3 product is. I don't believe that anymore. My conclusion is actually to try and work out your Horizon 3 product at the beginning is a disrespect to the customer that you are supposed to be stalking at the start. You build a lovable product, one beautiful, gorgeous, seamless feature that customer needs more than anything in the world. But here's what's happening. When I talk to you about domain awareness, domain authority, and domain dominance, there's no way I should be speaking about this 10 years ago because I hadn't invested in 300 companies. I hadn't growth hacked with 300 companies. You need those 300 companies to get to domain authority. But while you're building your lovable product, you start with domain awareness. You have to make sure people know what you're doing. If you are not outbounding, building awareness more than 50% of your time, you are not going to win. You're not going to do it. It's too expensive. Facebook doesn't work anymore. Google ads don't work anymore. None of the previous advertising platforms work on their own, not without building the dominance in there as well. So you start with awareness. For me, with Expert Dojo, we created the hugest events in Santa Monica, which cost no money. We brought in the greatest investors to meet with the startups, which cost no money. We built a reputation of helping, supporting, and paying it forward for no money. That allowed us to get our limited partner in. Our limited partner then liked what we were doing, liked the growth hacking. That allowed me to get to a place of domain authority, domain experience. And then, as you then are engaged so deeply, you know who does most training, most growth training for our startups? Who do you think? I have 300 people I can pick on to do growth hacking, growth training. Who would you say does most of it? Me. Why should I do most of it? Because I'm the founder. This is not an outsourced game. Our job at the beginning to build lovable product, as well as going through and threading through domain awareness, domain authority, domain domination. Domain domination between domain authority and domain domination is when you go for Horizon 3. But before you go there, if you haven't had a customer take out a restraining order against you, you are not trying hard enough. Every minute, every day with your customer, you don't ask them dumbass questions like, how's my product? How am I doing? What do you think of the features? People are too polite. They lie to you. And they lie to you because they don't want to hurt your feelings. What questions should you ask to build an absolutely lovable product, not a likable product? And look, just to hammer this home, has anybody ever tried to have a minimum viable first date? You should give that a go sometime and see where that takes you. Or a minimum viable marriage. Go see where that one takes you to. That should be loads of fun, right? It's fucking stupid. It's so stupid, right? What do you do at the beginning of a marriage, the beginning of a relationship, right? Some of us struggle afterwards, but at the beginning, we're all really good at it, right? We obsess. We stalk. We're like standing outside like a puppy dog going, oh my God, just tell me more really funny things because you're so funny and so awesome. And we have to treat our customers like that. It is the only way to build a product that people love. And here's what happens when you do this. You start to build trust. Does anybody trust any brand today? How many brands? Okay, let me rephrase it. Is there a single person here who trusts? I mean trusts. Trust means they don't lie to you at all. They tell you the truth. The stuff that they said is in their product. There's a single person here trust more than 5 brands of every single brand that they know in the entire world. 3 brands maybe. And I'm sure if there's some Patagonia people in here, you're going to say Patagonia. Awesome, that's great. Patagonia deserve to be trusted because they have enough things happening to show that they've proven that. So what is the greatest opportunity you have as a founder? Build trust. So while you're building your domain awareness, while you're making sure your product is right, while you're stalking and obsessing over your customer, while you're building your trust, you now start working on consumer-generated content to reinforce that trust. Why? Because even if you are trustworthy, so many other people have let all of your consumers down that nobody's going to believe you anyway. So you're doomed. The only people they trust are other people like them who use your product. So here's a question. In the first year of a good founder's company who has their eye on the ball for this, how many consumer-generated content should you have on your website, around your website, close to your website, near your website, on the other pages? Like how many? 100? 100's a good start. One of our companies, Formaloo, who, by the way, have no problem raising money, have no problem with customers. They have 1,000 testimonials. You know what I said to him with 1,000 testimonials? You call that trying? That's not trying. If you could get 1,000 testimonials, shame on you. You could have got 3,000 testimonials. Go out there and get more. You got this opportunity to flood the market with absolute trust from people who love what you're doing. You know the other great thing about like getting, I call them fan tributes rather than testimonials, right? But if they're not crying, and I'm going to give you an example which will tie into emotional resonance, and then I'm going to get off because I'm sure somebody else wants to talk. Does anybody else want to talk? I have the whole afternoon. Okay, good. Okay, yeah, okay, fine. I'll give you the last thing because I want to give you a live example of how this works. Okay, so to summarize. Outreach like a lunatic. If you're not outreaching more than 50% of your time at the beginning, you are not trying hard enough. Lovable product, not minimum viable product. And the only way that people know it's lovable if they haven't used you is for other people to talk about it. Preferably when they're giving their fan tributes, it is better if they are crying. If they are crying, that is the best effect that you can get. But if they're just saying nice things, that's an okay start. Investment, you're building funnels around your investment and you're making sure that you're dripping all of your good news to your investors about the products you're doing. So now I'm going to give you a story. I'm going to bring it back to emotional resonance. And I'm going to explain to you the importance of the brand pyramid. Most founders, they go directly from, I have a product, to I'm going to tell you about the features. And their website is filled full of features and it's boring and it's horrible and nobody cares. The great founders will go to benefits and they'll be like, we'll do benefits. But the insightful founders, the founders who really understand, they will reach back to purpose. They will tether purpose to emotional resonance. And that will allow them to get to a place, if they are deeply tied into purpose, where they can get to transformation. Transformation is the only place you want to live. Everywhere else is an elephant's graveyard. So, example, case in point, and then I leave. We have a company called Credit, K-R-E-D-E-T-E. Credit send money from diaspora to Africa. Right now, Western Union charge, what, 15, 20 bucks to send 100 bucks, 200 bucks? Credit charge $1, right? They send it over blockchain through a thing called the Lightning Network. $1 is what it costs. It also takes between 1 and 3 seconds to send the money. And so if you look at their branding, even as recently as this week, the branding would say, we send money there faster. And if I say to them, what are your values? They'll be like, we care about our customers. To which I say, nobody fucking cares. Because in 6 months' time, somebody else will have a cheaper product and they will have a quicker product. You do not, it is a race to the bottom. So here's where we got to with their brand. For years, Western Union have been stealing from the African people. Billions and billions and billions of dollars. And our mission, our purpose as a company is to repatriate $1 billion of stolen money directly to the African people through the world's first ever fair payment transfer system. That is when you tether beautiful purpose to incredible transformation, and then you don't have to hire salespeople with targets because they're not letting you down anymore, they're letting their mom down. Really, I've still got a minute left. You're like the best timekeeper I've ever met. You're awesome. Hey, I don't have a minute, I couldn't possibly. Hopefully that's helpful. Don't be a slave to venture capitalists. Don't play this stupid game of like going and pitching and pitching and pitching. Make your customer your true love. Outreach to them all the time. Try and find the truth. And then make sure you build this beautiful product that then all of your investors will be dripped this information because you're using HubSpot or lead sequencing or something else gorgeous that allows them to serendipitously find out how great you are while you're not spending more than 2% of your day with most of these jackasses. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day.